Defensively, if you wanted to see what this Knicks roster can do, you saw that. Offensively, if you wanted to see what this Knicks roster can do, you saw that. You saw what the pick and roll with Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns can do. And a little reminder here. During the game against Miami, we saw what it looked like when Karl-Anthony Towns went off and Jalen Brunson was struggling. Tonight, we saw what it looked like when Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns both look good together. Offensively, it's magic. Defensively, it's near unstoppable. Now, you can tell me, Troy, it's Detroit. It doesn't really matter. You know what matters to me? Defensive habits. What you do as a team, as a roster, collectively, how you get better from game to game. Today, we're going to break down why the Knicks beat the Pistons, why their defense was so good, why, again, they dominated in the third quarter, and why Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, once they get that chemistry together, will be one of the most unstoppable duos in the entire league. We're going to cover all of this and so much more tonight. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks destroy the Pistons, and I'm talking about domination from start to finish. When I'm talking about this roster, had a goal in mind going into the Pistons arena. They wanted to dominate them, give them no hope, give them nothing. And when they came out dominant, we're talking about only 13 points. 13 points, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the Pistons scored. I took my son to the park this afternoon, and I saw some players in the park score more points than the Pistons. It was scary. I was a little concerned for the Pistons, not for the Knicks, because after that first quarter, it was going to be clear. The Knicks were going to come out here, and they were going to prove not only can they gel together, but each and every single one of these starters can play elite defense and also play elite offensively. You want to know why I say elite defense? Look at the stat line, the box score, if you will, for each and every player tonight. You know what they have in common? Each and every single one of them? They all have multiple steals. Not one steal. No. Because one steal might just be, oh, it's a coincidence. We're talking about two or more. The starters, all of them have multiple steals. That means they're all active on defense. They're all moving on defense. But most importantly, they're all communicating on defense. And that's what it takes to play championship level basketball. You want to know what championship level basketball looks like, regardless of the opponent? You want to know what it looks like, what it can look like each and every night, regardless of the opponent. It looks like this. Everybody moving, everybody aggressive, everybody attacking, everybody shooting. Karl-Anthony Towns leading the charge, going everywhere you need him to go on the floor, playmaking at the top of the key. So that way he can do a behind his head pass to Jalen Brunson. And then Jalen and Karl-Anthony Towns can play the pick and roll. And if they get caught inside, guess who they have in the corners to bail them out? Oh, I don't know. Maybe some of the best three-point shooters on the team in Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. And that's what they did. They ran the pick and roll. Magic happened. They found an open Mikal Bridges. Open Mikal Bridges in the corner. Boom. Magic. We convert. We go on the other end, and we're playing suffocating defense. Suffocating because of the way we played the passing lane. Did you guys see the passing lanes? They were incapable of making a pass. Every time they wanted to make a pass, it was a cross-court pass. When you make a pass like that, with the length, the athleticism, the defenders we have on this team, what do you think's going to happen? We're going to steal the ball. OG Anunoby in the passing lane. Mikal Bridges in the passing lane. You saw the suffocation on Cade Cunningham, didn't you? But first, let's go through the stats like we always do, break down a couple of key moments for the Knicks and what stood out tonight on the stat sheet. Let's take a look. Shout out to Bleacher Report and also SNY for giving us this information. Final score, 128 to 98. Can we just say that together collectively? 128 points to 98 points. My goodness, what is happening here? Can you believe the Knicks put this up? I know it's the Pistons, but my goodness, 128. They scored 30 points plus each and every quarter. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. The only quarter they didn't do that was the fourth quarter. That's insane. But let's keep it going here. Other stats to look at. Field goal percentage. The Knicks and the Pistons basically shot the same. 3-point percentage-wise. Now, you could credit the Knicks for some of this, but I watched the game. You guys watched the game too. The reason the Pistons missed that many open threes, because a lot of them were open. Some of them were open. I won't give them a lot, because the Knicks played better perimeter defense tonight. But some of them were open. The reason they missed those threes, though, is because the Pistons are trash. We have to call it like we see it, right? They're trash. They're trash. Deuce McBride, the smallest player on the court, gets a rebound, and 4 other Pistons are in the paint. How does that happen? Oh, okay. You're trash. They're trash, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it going here. Rebounds. Knicks dominated again. I mean, come on now. 45 to 38. You can't allow the Knicks to play that level of defense and also dominate on the boards and also move the ball that well. If we do all of these things each and every night, what do you think is going to happen? We are going to blow out teams just like we did here. We would have done the same thing to Miami if Jalen Brunson was hitting shots. Something new I want to add to the show, a new element that some people were asking for that I really didn't add to the show yet, was where the Knicks did their damage. So basically, the only way to do that is look at the shot chart. And that's the new thing we have going on tonight. The shot chart, let's bring it up here. So as you can see, the Knicks over here are in black. The Detroit Pistons are in that blue over there. I couldn't switch it because this is the only colors that they would allow me to have, so I apologize about that. But as you can see here with the shot chart, New York did it from everywhere. They did it inside. They did it outside. And a lot of their damage was from outside. The Pistons, conversely, did a lot of their damage inside the paint. You can see right there, they were attacking New York inside. A lot of that happened in the second quarter. Some of that in the third quarter as well, too, I'll say, because Cade Cunningham came out strong. I think a lot of people had some talk with him at halftime to at least come out stronger and try to attack the Knicks a little bit more. I felt like he did that. Regardless, whoever was on him, I felt like he was attacking a little bit more. But as you see, the Knicks were able to attack and destroy Detroit from every single area. Look at the corner threes. They're everywhere. You can see the threes from the perimeter. Look at that. They're everywhere. We mainly stayed up in this game 30 points, basically since halftime. Halftime, we were up almost 20. Then in that third, up 30. And even though they tried to back and forth with us a little bit, and they tried to make us go up 20, 23 points or 25 points. We always kept it around 25 to 30. Never let them get close. It was amazing from start to finish if you're wanting a Knicks victory and how that was going to look. For me personally, I love what I saw. Let's keep it going here with some stats because we have to talk about one of the men of the hour here with Jalen Brunson, just doing Jalen Brunson things. I mean, JB, 36 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 31 minutes of playing time. He didn't play any of the fourth quarter. When you have Jalen doing Jalen things, making the shots that he did, the exact same shots against Miami that he missed against Miami, he made those shots tonight against Detroit. That's why I don't worry about Jalen Brunson. So many people in the last video I dropped, I saw the comments. Oh, well, why are you not saying anything about Jalen Brunson? You're not worried about Jalen Brunson? It was Jalen Brunson's fault that Karl-Anthony Towns didn't get more active. I saw those comments, and I thought to myself, you guys must not know who Jalen Brunson is. The people making those comments must not understand who JB is in his life right now and what he's capable of doing. Reading defenses, breaking down defenses, getting other players involved, making them better, and in turn, making himself better. Because when you make plays like that and you become a playmaker and you play the pick and roll with Karl-Anthony Towns like that, then the defense doesn't know where you're coming from in terms of attack. So where are you coming from attacking then? Are you going to attack from the inside? Are you going to attack from the outside? Are you going to pass the ball? Are you going to lob it? Are you going to play for somebody else? They have no idea what the Knicks are going to do. You want to know why the defense looks so bad for Detroit? Not only because they're a bad team, they're trash, right? We understand that. But it's also because They didn't understand where the point of attack was coming from. Is it going to be JB? Is it going to be Cat? Is it going to be Mikal? Is it going to be OG? Is it going to be Hart? Because each and every single one of those players can attack, they can shoot, they can do everything. They can even get to the line and make their free throws. So what are the Pistons going to do? They can't leave anybody. They can't have anybody open inside the paint to make sure somebody can go in to prevent a drive. Because if they do that, they're going to leave somebody else open. They had no idea what to do. They were scrambling all game, and the Knicks took full advantage of that. What else did you want a Knicks team to do but take full advantage of a very poor, very bad on defense Pistons team? I want to go more into Karl-Anthony Towns tonight and say exactly what he did. Karl-Anthony Towns tonight in 27 minutes versus the Detroit Pistons, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, almost a triple-double, ladies and gentlemen. It's intense. I can't believe that. 7 assists again, 3 threes, 2 steals, 1 block. Listen to this. I can't believe this is real. This is real. I can't believe this is real. Karl-Anthony Towns is 11 for 15, 73.3% from 3 to start the season. He's 73.3% from 3 to start the season. Do you know what that means? That means every time he catches the 3 and he has this much space, if he throws it up, it's going in. The only way to defend him is to always have 2 defenders on him. Do you know what Towns is doing right now? Actively right now, Towns is becoming somebody that you have to double on the 3. That means all the cuts you saw Jalen do tonight, all the cuts you saw Mikal do tonight, that you saw OG do tonight, that you saw Josh Hart do tonight, it's going to be open against every team. What are you going to do when Karl-Anthony Towns is shooting 73% from 3? You're going to let him be open? You're going to give him single coverage? You're not going to put a hand in his face? You're going to do what Detroit did to him tonight? Jalen Duren looked at him and went like this. He's 73% from 3. And you looked at him shoot the 3. Want to break down that stat again? Towns, 11 of 15 on the season, 73% from 3. That's just mind-boggling. 2 of our wings tonight. Now, you guys have to give credit where credit is due. I hope they do get a lot of credit here. OG Anunoby, 21 points, 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Mikal, 15 points, 3 threes, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, plus 31. Plus 31. Do you know how insane that is? Plus 31. My man was everywhere. Playing the passing lanes, getting us some really key buckets. Pulling up the stat line again. 7 rebounds. Do you see why I was so mad at him for not getting any rebounds a couple of games prior? There were a couple of games ago where he had 0 rebounds, and I was so mad at him because I knew Mikal was better than that. I knew he could get more rebounds. Once we're injured like this and we don't have the same personnel, the only way to out-rebound the other team is to rebound by committee. That means OG has to rebound, Towns has to rebound, Brunson, Hart, everybody who's out there. That's what you saw. Mikal Bridges had 7 rebounds. He had 15 points. He was passing the ball extremely well, shooting the ball extremely well. He was doing everything that he needed to do, and that's what you love to see. That's what I wanted to see from Mikal Bridges as soon as he started his Knicks tenure. I wanted to see him be aggressive, attack, but also play more with the ball in his hands. Because I think everybody saw tonight, you might have saw for a couple of games now, he can play make. He can actually use the ball, find other players, and do something with it. And when he does that, he's amazing doing that as well, too. He finds cutters. He finds open players in the corner. And when Towns is available and Towns sees him open, he trusts Mikal Bridges to make the shot. Their chemistry, what they're forming together, it's beautiful, man. Every time I see them work together, they look better. They look more comfortable. They look more active. They look hype. I love what I'm seeing from the starting unit. These wings, every game, they show you why we got them. The defense tonight, extraordinary. OG Anunoby, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Who knew OG Anunoby was a playmaker? Did you guys know? I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a playmaker. He was faking people out, faking the mid-range, finding other people cutting inside, finding other people open in the corner. He found Jalen Brunson at time was he was cutting on a fast break. OG to Brunson? OG to Jalen Brunson on a cut to the basket? Did you guys ever think you would see that? That's what I'm talking about. Everybody moving, everybody active, everybody aggressive. They all are capable of doing this. OG Anunoby giving you that offense, giving you that defense, giving you that playmaking. I think I speak for everybody. We paid him to play the defense you saw in Miami, the defense you continue to see. Everything else he gives you, the offense, the playmaking, all of that is a bonus. If he does that consistently, nobody better talk about the contract anymore. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear 200 and something million anymore. If he gives you 20 plus points, 5 plus assists, a couple of rebounds, and doing all of this in terms of his defense, how dare you mention his contract to me? How dare you mention that man's contract? You're mentioning money when he's diving on the floor, putting his body on the line, trying to take awkward falls to the ground in order to make the Knicks better? No. No more OG slander. It's done. It's over. Shut it down. Done with it. Let's talk about Josh Hart, though. Josh Hart, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Final again, New York is 3-2 on the season, finally above 500. Brunson, once again, he did not play in that fourth quarter, even though Josh Hart did, and he did get those 13 points and 9 rebounds. Now listen, love Josh Hart, love how active he was. Not going to show what he did in the box score. That's what I hate the most. It's not going to show there. Not going to show how aggressive he was on offense, how he was taking it to each and every Pistons players on defense, making it hard on them. Very good closeouts, not making any player breathe. Did switch a little bit slowly and was late to react on some threes, but you can't blame him. Up big, he was really good on defense in a lot of other possessions. So for me personally, I'm not going to say anything bad about about Josh Hart. He did his thing, did what he needed to do, and was capable of getting the rebounds when Karl-Anthony Towns was not in the game. Now, I know Jericho Sims helped out a little bit there as well, too. But if I'm looking at the rebounds, I'm really looking at Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, everybody else in terms of that committee rebounding, because that's what we're going to need in terms of beating these teams. Good teams, bad teams, whatever. We can't really rest on anything because it's already known Tom Thibodeau is going to play 8 players mainly, and then maybe when it's too late, he'll play the rest of the bench. And you know how I know that? Because we saw it tonight, didn't we? We saw 8 players consistently. 8 players, including starters, starting the fourth quarter. Some of those players we know have injury concerns from last year and this year, still playing minutes. Now, maybe didn't play a lot of minutes, but still played insignificant minutes. Tom Thibodeau, it's a plea. Right now, it's a plea. Up 30 points going into the fourth quarter. And you have Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. You call back in Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm glad you didn't do anything to Jalen Brunson. Shout out to you for not doing that. But why do that with the starters? You're up 30 consistently. You were up 30 for most of that quarter. Why even risk it? He took all of the starters out with 5 minutes left to go and then played the bench. Waited way too long. Because if an injury would have happened, we all would have looked at Tom Thibodeau and said, well, he did play them too long. He did this too long. I don't want to be up here one day, one night on a post game, talking to everybody up here and saying the exact same thing. Listen, guys, we got an injury to talk about now. That's going to do it, man. This is the first post-game stream for the Knicks recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys loved it. If you guys did, please do me the biggest favor. Please smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. But until next time, Knicks fans, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed post games, and you want to see more of this, You gotta let me know in the comments. You gotta let me know on social media. Support is free, and hopefully I can continue to earn and get your support. It really does mean a lot. But until next time, Knicks fans, please take care of yourself, your family, and each other. Peace and love.